Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Adobe Osazua from London, Ontario. I am a registered nurse as well as in the extended class or a nurse practitioner in Ontario here. And this video is by popular request. Have had lots of internationally educated nurses, which means a nurse in a different country other than Canada reach out to me to ask, I want to come to Canada to work as a nurse. How can I practice nursing in Canada? What are your suggestions? What are my options? How can I become a nurse in Canada? It's so popular. I get asked that all the time online. And so this video will be kind of addressing what some of my thoughts, my suggestions based on my experiences and my knowledge. I don't know it all, so please do your own research. And do your own research, do your own homework as well to see what options you have and what works for you. So if this is something that interests you, stay tuned. There'll be lots of helpful information and tips. So just before I get started, gosh, I look so tired. Long day. I had got my bachelor's of science in nursing from the US. And so when I moved to Canada, I had to go through exactly the same process. I moved to Canada as an international student. I applied. There's really no, equivalence, US, Canada. You have to go through the application process just like anyone. So the things I'm sharing with you applies to anyone who is not a nurse in Canada, okay? So guys, I believe that one of the easiest ways to be able to come to Canada, live in Canada and work as a nurse in Canada is coming to Canada as an international student. It's a foot in the door, and being an international student also gives you a status in Canada which is required as part of the application process. And to be honest, there are only two things you need to become a nurse in Canada. Two, you need an immigration status that allows you to work, and you also need a license. You need to be licensed to that province. What that means is, by law, you are not permitted to address yourself as a registered nurse in Canada, except you have a license to say that. So if you're a nurse from wherever you're coming from, once you're in Canada, you cannot present or represent or introduce yourself in a clinical manner to say, I'm a registered nurse, because that carries an authority and you need a license for you to be able to use that term or use that designation. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I encourage people to come as an international student because that's one checkpoint. You have a status, because as an international student you are able to work. You're able to work 20 hours while school is in session, and you can work for as many hours as you wish when school is out of active session. So during the summer, during winter break. So my advice is, once you get admission into a school in Canada and you start the process for your visa application, the first thing I want you to do is go on a website called NNAS. I think it's .com or .ca. I'm going to put it in the description. When you go on that website, that is the website portal where every person who is interested in practicing nursing in Canada has to go to. When you go to that website and put in your information, you indicate what province you want to practice nursing in. So if you want to be, go through licensure for all the provinces, which I don't encourage, choose one or two. Choose the province where you're going to be going to school, or choose a province. Say you have family in a different province and you plan to move there after school, you can choose that province. So don't choose all the province, because then you have to pay various, aside from the application fee for NNAS, you have to also pay extra fee for all the various provinces you want to apply to. I hope that's clear. If it's not, leave me a comment and I will explain further. So when you apply to NNAS, you indicate what province you're interested in being able to practice nursing. NNAS takes your data and they send it to the Board of Nursing for those provinces. when those provinces receive your application, they're going to acknowledge via email that your application has been received and it's being reviewed. Once it's been reviewed, they'll let you know what lapses or what gaps or what requirements you meet or you don't meet. And they will tell you what your next steps are in order to fulfill those requirements. But this process can be very lengthy. It can require writing one or more multiple exams or no exams for some people who are very lucky, because I did know somebody who, you know, applied with her friend from same school in India. She met all the requirements. Her classmates, same exact process, didn't meet the requirements. So I think it's also somewhat subjective, in my opinion. So they tell you what you need. They tell you what you need to do. And I'm going to dive into that a bit further, especially for those who are applying to Ontario. I'll make a separate video to go more and more into detail. So once you start applying, like I said, it's lengthy. So while you're working on your study permit, work on your NNAS application, because it can take a while even before NNAS sends your information to the Board of Nursing for the province you're applying to in Canada. It can take a long time. And the good thing is that, say, you know, you get your student visa, you come to Canada, while you're taking your regular courses for your program you apply to, you can also be working and processing your nursing license at the same time. Now, in terms of what do I study if I come to Canada, when you come to Canada, you can do a diploma or you can do a master's degree. You can do a master's degree in nursing, public health, health sciences, anything closely related to nursing or healthcare will be acceptable and will be closely aligned with your, I guess, your discipline or your degree, your nursing degree. So the options are numerous. You can also do a diploma. Any diploma that is closely related or tied to health or nursing or healthcare would also be appropriate. You do not necessarily have to do a master's in nursing or a diploma in nursing. You can do it in anything healthcare. If you're doing a diploma, the advice is you might have to do a diploma that's a 2-year diploma, or you might have to do 2 different diplomas as long as it equates into 2 years. That increases your chances of getting a 3-year work permit. And with a 3-year work permit, that is ample time to find a job, you know, be able to sponsor yourself, to get your work permits after you're done with your studies, and also to continue the process of getting your nursing license, because you've gone to school, you've done all the hard work, you've done all the education, you deserve to be able to work as a nurse in Canada. So I really highly encourage everyone, go for it. You know, it can be tiring sometimes and stressful, but it's doable, it's achievable. So I'm just gonna end there. The other question is funds. I know funds can be a big thing, but I think I talked about this earlier. You might need to get sponsors who will show the bank statements, but maybe while you're here in Canada, you need to work. You can work 20 hours during school, and you can work for as long and as many days and as many hours as you want when school is not in session. And this is why I prefer Canada over the US, but I don't want to go that way. What else? So that when you hear back from the province, from the provincial board of nursing, they will always kind of tell you where your gaps are. They'll tell you what your options are. For me, because the exam I wrote in the US was the same exam they write here. Once I met all my requirements from the College of Nurses of Ontario, which is the Ontario Board of Nursing, I was able to practice. But for some people, even before they get to the point of writing the North America board exam, which is the NCLEX, there are other hoops and other exams they might need to take before they're allowed to actually take the final licensure exam. So because this video is really a general video, I don't want to go into specific detail. I'm having lots of issues with my camera, but in conclusion, I will make another video to follow this, but that's going to be walking you through the NNAS website, as well as kind of going through what some of the requirements of the Ontario Board of Nursing, which is known as the College of Nurses of Ontario. So this is going to be a bit maybe more specific to those who are interested in working as a nurse in Ontario. If you have any questions, leave me comments. I will check periodically and try to get to them. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful. Take care. Bye.